Hi, I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed exactly 2 years ago today, and they found a nasty little tumor, and then 6 months later they discovered that I had a second primary cancer in my lung, and I'm a survivor. Been 2 years now, and I had 2 different rounds, 1 year apart, of some pretty vicious chemotherapy. And as a result, my hair's gone and it's growing back. And I have these little weird things that are cropping out all over the place. So I thought that today I would try to see what I could do with this and share it. I don't know if it's gonna work. Never done it before. As you can see, the hair is a little bit crazy. I tried just this product the other day and it worked to slick it down, but when it dried, there were little bitty pieces that kind of tried to pop their way up, and I don't really want to cut it all off because, or shave it down on the sides, because eventually it has to grow out. I mean, I don't want hair this short for the rest of my life. I think I look like my dad, who had a military burr cut for the entire time I knew him. Anyway, when it started falling out the first time, it didn't all fall out. There were little sprouts coming up all throughout my regular hair. And my stylist recommended I get a finishing paste or wax. So I went to the store and I bought this. So today we're going to try a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And we're going to see what happens. Because I am going to an event in about a week and a day, and I don't want my hair sticking up all over the place, and it's going to be hot. It's summertime. It's July 17th, and I don't want to wear a wig, and I don't want to wear a hat. So anyway, I'd like to wear it just short and see what happens. So here goes. I have a little brush here. Believe it or not, I can part my hair with a brush, so I can just go crazy. I have a mirror over here that I'm looking into, but I can just grab it, brush it to the side, and I have a little part. So I'm kind of excited that I have a part. For months I had no part, and I looked a little bit like, I don't know, Gollum for a while, and then I looked like Danny DeVito, and now I kind of look like my dad. But my dad's hair stood straight up, so I'm a little bit excited that it's laying down, and it has a little bit more curl than it did. I always had a little bit of wave, but now it's got a little bit of curl that it didn't have before. And after I'm done doing my hair, I'm probably going to try to do a little makeup. So it says extra strong hold on this Garnier Fructis. So we will see what happens. Gonna use a little bit of this, rub a little bit of it into my fingertips, and just apply it on those little wingy pieces that I'm not real crazy about. And it's also doing some funky stuff in the back, but since it took me so long to get this camera set up so that you could see me, I'm not going to take it down to show you the little wavy, weird things it's doing in the back. I got a comb out to work on this with, although I don't think I'm really going to need the comb. Well, that seems to be working pretty good. Pretty good. Except it's still kind of popping up here. But we'll let that dry a little bit, and we will do a little bit of makeup. So since my hands are all sticky and gross from the Garnier Fructis, I'm going to use a little makeup wipe removal wipe and wipe my hands off a little bit. I did wash my face this morning, so we're starting with a clean slate. And chemotherapy, I had chemo and I had radiation, and the chemotherapy I had this last round was Taxol and carboplatin, which kind of cracks me up because carboplatin sounds to me like turbo, like it's turbo chemo, like super powered, which maybe it is because I'm in remission, so that's good news. Maybe it really is. And the Taxol I found interesting because the Taxol is was originally discovered because it was derived from the bark of the yew tree. So there you have it. Things in nature. We don't know it, but we probably have the cure for cancer somewhere out there. We just have to discover it. So I've been using this. It has SPF 30 in it. It's a Neutrogena Visibly Even Daily Moisturizer. I bought it a while back. I'm not even sure if they make it anymore, but it says it helps with reduction of blotchiness and the look of dark spots. So I've been using that, but before I use that, I've been using this natural hemp cream that I got on Amazon. And I originally bought this because the chemotherapy and the radiation were causing neuropathy and hip pain. And I was using it on my hips. I've used about half of the container. And then I found out that it works really well on bug bites. And then when your hair falls out from chemotherapy, people think it just falls out on your head. No, it falls out everywhere on your body. So I have these little fine hairs all over my face. Everybody does. My upper lip, my face. And when they started growing back, I started getting all these little teeny tiny blemishes, and it was really nerve-wracking to me. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if I had chemo-related acne. I didn't know. And it took me a while to figure out it was ingrown, little teeny tiny ingrown hairs. So I was using this for other stuff. I found out it worked on bug bites. I thought, well, why not just try this? So I did, and you know what? It's a miracle worker. It has hemp oil in it and turmeric and some other goodies, aloe vera, all of them anti-inflammatory, all of them, things that you find in nature. So it didn't really, it is a commercial product, so it does have some preservatives and things like that in it, but I love it. And when I run out of this one, I will buy another one. So my daughter actually got a bug bite on the back of her hand the other day, a mosquito bite, and she's sensitive, and it poofed up and went away. So I put that in, I rub it in pretty good on these little spots that have been showing up, and then I put on some of this Neutrogena stuff because it has an SPF 30, and I just don't want to risk any sun damage from the chemo and the radiation, and I'm not sure how much I'm still sensitive to it, but it is summertime, it is California, it is pretty bright out there. So, and I do spend a lot of time on the beach. I'm a beach lover. I like to go walk on the beach. And when you lose your hair and you're putting on sunscreen and you're planning on not wearing a hat, you need to remember the tops of your ears and the backs. Because I know this because I used to be a lifeguard in my youth, but those ears, they'll get little spots on them, they can get sun damage, they can get brutally damaged by the sun, and then you're ending up with potentially having skin cancer. So I already have 2 cancers, don't need a third one. I'm wearing the sunscreen. So my sister bought me this lovely product called Boeing. And I don't like wearing a lot of makeup. I don't like wearing a lot of foundation. I do have a foundation by Clinique that I like. And my sister also sent me, she is just wonderful about sending me care packages, and she sent me one called Born This Way. That I think both of these were off of Amazon. You can probably get them in department stores. But the Boeing product, this product is what I like to wear every day, just as a cover stick. Kind of, it's just, this is number 1. And I thought it was going to be too light, and it wasn't. It blended very well, but it's like a little cover stick. So these little spots, just like putting a little bit on those, cover them up. And if you get acne or blemishes after your chemo and your radiation is complete, of course talk to your doctor if it's concerning or if it's really severe and if it's annoying you and or painful. But if you just get a little bit of, little tiny blemishes like I got that just bugged you, and there was a smattering of them on my forehead at one point, and I was just dumbfounded. Like, this hasn't happened in 35 years. What's going on? Did chemo make me go through puberty again? I don't know. And then I figured it out. So as my hair has stabilized and started to come in, it has lessened in severity. And I'm grateful, and as you can see, I didn't put much of this on. It's really meant for the bags under my eyes, which I probably should touch up. But today, I'm just taking the dogs to the vet with my daughter. And I don't think the vet is going to care if I have bags under my eyes. By the time I get 3 dogs into the vet, anybody in my shoes would have bags under their eyes. So I'm not really worried about how much of that I have on. And I clearly can afford, well, not clearly can afford, but I can afford nicer, more expensive powders. But my favorite is actually CoverGirl. And I like it because I can carry one in my purse and keep one in my vanity, and they're inexpensive. And if I smash one, it doesn't bother me. And I like the smell. It has a distinctive smell. Kind of, I don't know, reminds me of younger, more carefree days. So I just put a little bit of that on, and I always try to get my eyelids because that makes shadows go on more smoothly if I'm wearing them. Just put a little bit on. You can see I still have the bags under my eyes. Maybe someday if I get really good at this, I'll have a better camera and lighting and Now, when I didn't have eyebrows, I used this product, and it's called Mana, and I got it at a beauty supply store in my hometown here, and I really, really liked it. I went in without eyebrows and asked the lady what I should get, and she recommended this, and so that's what I did. And I like the medium color in there. And when I had no eyebrows, they actually looked better than they do now because I was very deliberate about where I put it and how I filled in. And I'm not one to do the young person squared off. I can't. I'm not that creative. But when I didn't have any eyebrows, I just went in and did a little bit of this, and I used a product called, where'd I put it? This was recommended by the lady at the beauty supply shop too, and it's called Bushy Brow. And it has like a little felt tip, and you can fill in. In my case, I had to draw in a significant number of eyebrows, and I got it in a brown shade because I'm naturally a grayish blonde. But now that I have eyebrows, I don't really need that one as much as I did. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in to show you how I did it when I didn't have eyebrows. I drew on with the bushy brow, and then I filled in with this, and then I would take a Q-tip and take off any excess that looked like I colored outside the lines. So that's pretty much it for that one. Now, I do eyeliner, and when I didn't have eyelashes, eyeliner was just a critical thing, because without eyelashes and without eyeliner, you seriously look like you don't have eyes. So eyeliner became the replacement for mascara. Now, I could have gotten real fancy and glued on fake eyelashes, but I'm just not that kind of gal. I'm more of a walk on the beach, take your dog to the vet, crafting kind of person, but I'm not a fake eyelash kind of gal. I've never been that talented. I'm pretty sure I would get glue in my eye, but without eyelashes, it never dawned on me how much you rely on eyelashes to put on eyeliner, because this little wand, when I put my eyeliner on, I rest it on top of my lashes. And I just very gently draw the line. And if I get some of my lashes, I try to pull it off of there. So that's one eye. Don't know if you can see it. Hope you can. And without eyelashes, you don't have anything to rest that wand against. So I stabbed myself in the eye, I don't know how many times, trying to put eyeliner on so I looked like I had eyes. It happens. That's just the way it goes. You'll get good at it if you practice. Don't let it deter you. Just wipe it off with one of the little wipey things and try again. Because it happens. It just shocked me the first time. I was like, why do I keep poking myself in the eye with the eyeliner? And then I went, oh, don't have eyelashes. That would do it. Let me see if I can do the other one without goofing up. Oh, dead silence. That dramatic silence. Uncomfortable silence. Maybe I should edit this and put music or something in there. Okay, so now I got both of them done. They're not perfect, but like I said, I'm taking the dogs to get their shots. So I'm not too worried about perfect eyeliner. Just wanted to let you know, you can poke yourself in the eye over and over and over. That just happens. Oh, and by the way, that was L'Oreal's black eyeliner. The label has worn off because I don't use a whole lot of it, but that's the brand I like. And this one is CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus. Now, I tried a couple of different under the eye eyeliners because I also didn't have bottom lashes. And the bottom lashes, without those and without eyeliner on the top, like I said, you had no eyes. You really kind of looked like a 12-year-old boy with no hair, no eyelashes. Seriously, 12-year-old boy with boobs and wrinkles. Not a pretty sight. So I tried to dabble in under eyeliner, and I'm just not good at putting it on the inner lid. Never have been, never will be. It looks gunky. I stab myself in the eye. It floats across my eye. It makes the whites of my eyes look gray or brown. So I just decided, that's just not gonna work. Can't do it. So I bought this, and I ended up really liking it. I had a couple of different products, and this one seemed to go on the smoothest, and it has a little tip on the other side, a little smudge sponge where you can like blend it, and I just really liked it. So I just went on the corner of my eye, and there are makeup tutorials that you can find on YouTube that will give you probably a way better tutorial on how to do your makeup. But I am not a big makeup wearer. I just really have never been big on makeup, and I was a swimmer in high school, and I worked obsessively when I was working, and I just never really had a lot of time for makeup. Never got good at it. And I guess this tutorial is for the 50-something overweight cancer patient, balding, I don't have time for makeup, I love to craft and walk on the beach tutorial. So anyway, there you go. So then I take the smudging end and I smudge it just a little bit. Don't you love it? Everybody always goes when they're doing their eyes. I'm going to try not to do it. Oh, it's hard. It's really hard. Okay, got it. So that's about all I want to do on the bottom. Then I took and y'all are going to laugh at this, but I have a sample that I got in one of those buy this amount of money stuff at Clinique and get a free whatchamacallit kit, and I got the free kit and it had these colors in it, and it was just in my makeup drawer pretty much untouched. And so I decided, when I lost my eyelashes and I started wanting to look like a girl with a wig instead of a 12-year-old boy with wrinkles, I started messing with this. And I used the darker one on the corners, just up here, just a little bit, just to give myself a little bit of depth. Just right there, up to the brow. I'm gonna kind of be looking in the mirror here. Just up to the brow. And then I use, obviously, the lighter one. Not the lightest, but the middle one. And you could probably find colors similar to this or that match your skin tone or colors that you already have that you like anywhere at any makeup counter, because this is not rocket science. This is just shades of brown. But the lighter one, I just put a little bit everywhere. And so it gave my eyes a little bit of depth without looking like, you know, a teenage girl that is trying to do the smoky eyes, just like I was not a cancer patient, like I had femininity back, like I wasn't sick, like I looked healthy. So that's it. And if I really wanted to get fancy, I would go in and smudge the bottom a little bit more with that lighter color. But like I said, going to the vet. I have two different mascaras that I currently like. One I bought for a recent trip, and it's Maybelline, and it's a waterproof mascara. I like that one, but I'm not needing waterproof today, and I'm just going to go with my little Great Lash Classic. So I didn't want to invest in a lot of makeups and things and then not like them, so I pretty much kept with the stuff that was easily accessible. The eyebrows, I needed a little bit of help, and I bought that stuff on recommendations. But anyway, I haven't curled my eyelashes because for a long time I only had like 6 eyelashes on the top, and I thought if I curl them, they're just gonna fall out. And if you're a cancer patient, you know that fear. And I don't think I ever lost every single one of them, but it was dramatic enough for me to try to take care of the ones I had. I didn't wear waterproof mascara. I didn't wear waterproof makeup because it took too much effort and, you know, rubbing to remove it. And I was trying to protect what few eyelashes I had left. So I didn't want to say, oh, okay, here we're going to rip you out just because you survived that long. We're going to just yank you out by washing my face. No, sorry. And then I just do a little bit on the bottom. Little bit. Little bit. There we go. So not a lot, but not a guy. So now maybe I look like a 57-year-old cancer patient that has makeup on instead of the 12-year-old boy with boobs and wrinkles. And I do a little bit of blush. There's one, again, I had a Clinique that was left over from a long time ago with the kit, and it had these colors in it, and I like that middle color, so that's what I'm going to use today. I don't usually use the brush that came with it. I use this little Target e.l.f. brush, and just put a little bit of it in there, and put a little bit on my cheeks. I have tried that trick of putting the blush on my eyelids to see if, you know, you could get away with just that color. But I like to put it on my nose, on my chin. And then my daughter, she's 25 this year, recommended this lip product, and she said blot it every time you use it, and she's right, because it looks funny if you don't. So I'm going to reach over here and get a tissue. But this is a Maybelline product, matte ink. I like mattes, and this stuff stays on. Like, I tend to, when I smile, not have an upper lip. Like, this goes away. So if I don't have lipstick on or something, it just looks like I don't have a lip, because I try to smile a lot. Anyway, this stuff, it feels kind of like glue when you put it on. It's very thick and heavy, but once you get used to it, it really doesn't bother you, and it stays on. And I put a little bit of gloss over the top of it. It has a remover that you can buy to take it off at night. I've used that maybe once or twice. I'm not really addicted to removing it. I've not had bad luck just washing my face and using a makeup remover. I don't use a lip liner. Never was good at those. Always thought that I looked kind of like I drew my lips on in one color and tried to fill them in with another color if I used a lip liner. So, coloring outside the lines. Anyway, I never did really get good at that. So if you use a lip liner, I would just use it before I use this. If you don't, and you're like me, just put it on like a gloss or a lipstick. Blot it. A lot of it comes off. Ooh, looks like I kissed the tissue. And then I just have a little glossy thing that I can put on over the top of it to make it feel less sticky. You don't really need that most of the time. I don't even use it. So that's what I do for my makeup on a quick day. If I were going out, like to a dinner or an event, my husband's gets invited to some events every now and then. I haven't gone to any while I've been sick, but if I were going out, I obviously would do the eyes a little bit heavier, do the brows a little bit heavier, put on some more blush. But this is just a daytime, I'm going out, or I'm going to church, or I'm, going out to lunch, or frankly, I want to answer the door and not look like a boy. But anyway, that's just how easy it is. Cancer is hard enough. If you get up every day and you put a little bit of effort, not even this much, but if you put a little bit of effort into looking better, then you feel better. I mean, I used to, when I worked and I was a professional and I negotiated contracts for a living. And when I knew I had a big negotiation coming up, I would put on my prettiest underwear. I put on my fanciest, prettiest bra, my prettiest panties, and I dressed in my power suit. And I knew, because it was like my armor. I knew, and I felt confident because I knew from the toes up, I was dressed to kill. And it just gave me some kind of power over the situation and my day. And just, cancer can't control your life. Cancer can't take away the part of you that wants to feel good about you unless you let it. So splurge. Hopefully insurance is covering a lot of the bills and you're not getting bombarded right and left, and hopefully you can afford to buy a few products like extra eyeliner or a eyebrow powder and feel good. Because just going to the doctor and feeling good, or going to radiation treatment and not looking like you just literally got dragged out of a hospital bed to go to radiation, because that really did happen to me. I left the hospital and the next day I was back in radiation. And you have to get up and you have to get dressed and you have to go to treatment. So if you have the energy, it certainly makes you feel better. It did me. Don't let cancer control who you are and how you feel about yourself. So that's my little makeup tutorial. Now let's get back to, I'm going to try this. It kind of stiffened up, and I'm going to try this. It's called Finishing Paste. And I laugh because you can see how much of it I used the first time around. I barely dipped my fingers in it, and I have not tried this yet this time around. So we'll see what happens. Last time around, my hair stayed about chin length. It was in a chin length bob. In fact, if I had a good picture, I'll post it. But it was in a chin length bob, and it kind of just had a part kind of offside part, just kind of sculpted down. And all these little weird hairs were sticking up. So I only glued those down a couple of times when I was going somewhere where it mattered to me. Most of the time it didn't really matter. They weren't noticeable probably to anybody but me. This time, this is kind of bugging me, and it's curly, and I don't know what to do with it. So, and I have to go somewhere in a week. So I'm gonna brush through this product, this styling gel, and see if I can loosen it up a little bit. Because I don't mind the slicked down look. I think that's kind of chic. But if you're wearing your hair slicked down, I think it ought to actually stay down, and this clearly is not doing it. So here we go. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my fingertip, and ooh, I can see it's kind of working. See if I can't stick down those and maybe sculpt my sideburn a little bit. I also have a reunion coming up in September, which is going to be funny because you know how everybody goes on a diet and they try to lose weight and they, you know, try to look their best for their reunion. There's really not a whole lot I can do. I mean, I could wear one of my wigs, but I'm not going to because frankly, after you start getting hair, they slip. And after you, I didn't comb through enough of that. After you, I'm going to put a little bit more on this side. I have about that much on my fingertips. Not much. I'm going to see if I can't. This might be just incorrigible. I might have to call my stylist and say, help me, Rhonda. What do I do? Her name's not Rhonda. She knows who she is. So I may have to try putting that styling gel on when it's wet and then trying this little technique. Oh wait, combing it down. That seems to be working a little bit better than combing it back. So I think I might have a little bit of a technique. Still kind of incorrigible, but I'm going to try. This side seems a little bit better. I'm going to try tomorrow when I get up and I get out of the shower and my hair's wet. I'm going to try putting this on and going down a little bit more instead of back and see if it'll stay that way. And then try some of the waxy stuff and see if I can get it to kind of not stick out. I feel like I have like a little wing. Like, you know those Mercury dimes with Mercury on them? He's got the wings coming out of his head. That's kind of what I feel like. Anyway, I've got to go to the vet in literally 26 minutes. No, 36 minutes. A little bit worried. 3 dogs. None of them are going to be happy. Only one of my kids is available to help me. So send me happy thoughts and good vibes and prayers for successful vet visit. All right. God bless. Hope this helps. Bye.